Check. Jasmine State and Kate Kristoff. Unbelievable. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Ellis, navigating the stage here. I'm going to MC tonight. As I watched Kate and Jasmine there, I am amazed at what is wonderful about teaching is watching young people grow and morph into professionals, because I'd pay to see that. That was a song called Sons and Inn by Andrew York. And I think it's a beautiful way to kick off the evening. You all got programs, but I want to read a little bit from it. And I know that you can read, unlike those controlling the country. But I know that, sorry, I grew up in Berkeley. But I do want to take a minute just to read the sentiment here from the Foon family, because I think it's important to think about what we're doing here. And let me first acknowledge that we are here. The worst thing about an event, and having produced them myself, is anyone going to come? So thank you all for being here, and thank you for coming and sitting in the seats. So I want to welcome you to the first annual FOONTASTIC Fundraiser for Music Education. So a couple of key words there, FOONTASTIC first. Always key. But first, an annual. This is the first time we've done this event, but we're going to do it every year. And so hopefully it will grow and grow and grow. Let me read a little bit. Neel, I had the pleasure to teach Neel for a couple of years at OSA, and in one class in particular we had was the contemporary combo. What I remember about Neel personally is his gigantic smile. However, and we all do, but as a teacher, what I really liked was when, and this is a little backwards, but when it would go away. And those moments were when he was concentrating on learning and he was hard on himself. And you wouldn't necessarily know that from his general behavior. But when I saw him not be okay with what he was doing and need to work on it, that's when it kind of condensed down. And then he would return to smiling. Beautiful person. But I want to read what Brad and Jeannie and the family wrote. Neel was a wonderful human being, a loyal friend and accomplished musician. He studied and played music from a very young age, and music moved him, guided him, and fed his soul. Neel's joy spilled out of him and was infectious. He enjoyed sharing his enthusiasm for music and life. That's what tonight is about, life. So the first annual and the FOONTASTIC fundraiser itself for music education is a way to continue Neel's memory by creating two funds in support of music education. What better way to honor Neel than by creating opportunities for other students to find their joy and passion through music? The older I get, the more I realize music is everything. Music is everything. Yeah, you can applaud it because it's true. Music is everything. These funds will allow students to enrich their lives through playing, listening, and learning about the art of music in an educational setting. Through private music lessons, inspiring guest speakers, and field trips to musical events, or being able to purchase a new or used instrument, which is always new when someone new gets it. Students have the opportunity to find their own voice. Through these experiences, they find connection with each other, their communities, and the world at large. And you're going to see that happen on stage tonight. So many of the students, up-and-coming professionals, teachers, form a community and have over time. I've been at OSA now, I'll be going into my 5th year, which is hard to believe, but I joined a community, and that was one of the attractions of it. And that is this is the juicy stuff, which we get to watch tonight. Moving forward, students at Montessori Family School and Oakland School for the Arts are lucky to have some best music teachers in the Bay Area. So, better than you, so. It's our desire to support these two schools and enhance their music programs. We hope the music you hear tonight, played by many of Neel's friends and teachers, will move and inspire you to join us in donating to the funds in his name. Thank you for being with us this evening and for your ongoing support of music education. We're honored and blessed to be able to do something so meaningful in Neel's memory. Neel would be proud, Neel is proud, but mostly joyous to know that he is remembered through music and that his legacy is supporting others like himself who want to express themselves through the arts. We give thanks to our community for the continued love and support our family has received, and we continue to be uplifted, inspired to give back. With love, Brad, Jeannie, Ryan, Faye, and Narayan. I want to emphasize one other word in here, and that is legacy. Because regardless of your time on the planet, I really feel like the legacy you leave is what matters. And that isn't made possible by the little things that you do. And Neel's smile is his legacy in my mind. The music you hear tonight is part of, and this event is the beginning of his legacy. And that stays with us forever. With that, I'd like to begin the evening by bringing up Neel's dad, Brad Foon.
Welcome, everybody. Wow, I've never been in front of lights like this before. So as most of you know, music was a huge part of Neel's life. And he discovered the beauty of music at a very early age, and it would soon become his passion. And for those of you who knew Neel, it's not surprising that Neel connected with music. There's just something magical about music. It could raise your spirit and make you jump for joy. It could resonate deep in your gut and move your soul. Music can be a silly tune, but it can also deliver a powerful message. So as you can see, music mirrored Neel. As Neel left his mark at Montessori Family School and at Oakland School for the Arts, I am confident that he would have left his mark in the music world. Neel's creativity and imagination, his passion and spirit, and his sense of humor always came across in his songwriting and his performances. Actually, I want to share a little nugget about Neel. A couple weeks ago, Jeannie was in Neel's room, and she discovered a song that Neel was writing, and it was for his music theory class at UCLA, and it was a blues song, and it was some sheet music that Neel wrote, and there was also an essay describing what he was trying to accomplish with his song, and if you had read his essay, you could just feel Neel's passion and his expertise in music in the words that he wrote. And so when Neel was a little child, one of his favorite TV programs was Blue's Clues. Okay. And so the title of this song was called Neel's Blues, Neel's Clues. So that's just so Neel. So I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you. And Neel's had a huge stage presence. His persona on stage was simultaneously genuine and electric, free-flowing and natural, never staged or contrived, and he always connected with his audience. But sadly, Neel was only scratching the surface of his potential when he died 15 months ago. So in the end, with the help of his mom, it's going to be these 2 scholarships that this is where Neel is going to leave his mark in the music world. From the money raised last year at his celebration of life, Montessori Family School was able to buy a whole new set of instruments, and whose music director Micah says sound beautiful. And they're all going to have Neel's name and a turtle engraved on them, in hopes that the kids ask him, who's Neel? And so then Micah can tell them Neel's story. And then with future donations, he plans to expose his students to local musicians in hopes that they too discovered the beauty of music as Neel did. And at Oakland School for the Arts, the first 2 Fly Me to the Foon scholarships were given out last fall to 2 young, deserving musicians whose personal stories touched Jeannie's and my heart deeply. And with future donations, we hope to double up next year and from every year after, and to give out 4 scholarships. And these scholarships are to help young talented musicians obtain the proper instruments and private lessons they need to chase their dreams and perfect their craft. So Jeannie and I, again, are so happy that you're here to support this endeavor. And so sit back. Jeannie and the OSA staff have put together a fantastic show for you. So we hope you feel the magic of music tonight and you feel Neel's spirit. Thank you.
We have these lights. Hi, everybody. So, for those of you who don't know the whole story, I'm sure you all know at least a part of it, but for those who don't know the whole story, Neel spent his preschool, elementary, and middle school years at Montessori Family School. You'll see alumni from MFS perform tonight. The school was founded, I just looked it up today online, 37 years ago. It was a little tiny sort of hippie school in Berkeley. Very small, just a preschool and elementary component. I've been there for 14 years, and it's grown into pre-K through 8th grade now. And starting next year, we'll have music twice a week for everybody in the school. So because music is for everyone there, ages 3 through 14, I guess, we provide instruments that everybody can play. So lots of drums and percussion, handheld things, and also xylophone, special mallet instruments called Orff instruments. That are basically xylophones, marimbas, different kinds of metallophones that are sort of instantly accessible to little guys and big guys alike, so they can improvise, compose, and experience music in that way. And by design, those instruments are super simple, and they're made for younger children to play. They're great for world folk music. They're great for a body-centered music program. But the kinds of music we can approach, instrumentally at least, are pretty narrow because they're diatonic instruments, no flats and sharps. So it doesn't look like a piano keyboard, just the white keys. We had those for lots and lots of years. So Neel, when he was at the school, started pretty early, like as a third-year student. I met Neel when he was 5 years old. And by the time I think he was in 3rd grade, he was playing a lot of guitar. So he'd bring his guitar to music classes, and he would have sort of that interface with music. But the rest of the kids, and especially through his middle school years, the rest of the kids there were, sort of stuck playing instruments meant for littler guys, and it was a little bit of a drag for them. Aiden and Neel will attest. You have to sort of like remove keys and put on a B flat if you want to play something in F, or so it was fraught with obstacles. And so last year, with the monies that were raised at Neel's memorial, were used for is buying a new piano for the classroom, which is great, with lots of piano players, and 8 chromatic instruments. So we have all the flats and sharps. And for a music teacher and for the kids, it like blows the doors off what you're able to do. So we can you know, we can start running scales and we can start doing chord changes. We played all Beatles tune, All You Need Is Love last year. We played Dave Brubeck, Blue Rondo a la Turk at the spring concert last year, and the kids are super excited by all parts of that. And would have been impossible for us 12 months ago to do those things. And so besides opening up all the sort of world of music to the kids and all the different possibilities, it really helps us prepare, especially middle school kids, for what they're going to experience in high school, in schools like OSA. And Jeannie had the beautiful idea to kind of try to continue this event and grow it each year. And so the money's raised today, besides a set of 8 chromatic instruments that we got for the school, we're hoping to sort of fill out the whole classroom set so that kids can have these instruments to play together and not have to switch out on stage and share instruments and pick up a cowbell or whatever to play during the concerts. I guess I just want to say that I'm so grateful for all of you to be here and the generosity giving to the school in that way. And the energy transfer, you know, from Neel to all of you to the kids at MFS is palpable. You can sort of taste it. And Brad told you, we have these little plaques on each instrument that say, in memory of Neel Foon, musician and friend. And it has the little turtle. And kids ask about it all the time. You know, who's Neel? What's the story here? And the best part about it for me is just to be able to answer those questions in detail. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Nick Kanozik, the Chair of Instrumental Music at Oakland School for the Arts, and I just want to give you guys a little bit of background of how we utilized some of the funds raised last year. In the beginning of the fall, we basically were able to come together. There were 5 panelists that we created this application process. And so first and foremost, I want to mention that this scholarship doesn't just benefit the kids who are awarded, it benefits everyone in the department, including the staff, in a lot of different ways. We had over a quarter of the entire department apply for this scholarship. We awarded 2, $2,000 each, one for middle school, one for high school, given towards either private lessons, opportunities, and particularly for instruments as well. This is an incredibly important time in these young musicians' lives to be able to have an opportunity to have something on their resume and to also be able to live in light of Neel Foon, who was just immensely well-rounded when it comes to academics, of which GPA is an aspect of the application, as well as essay-based responses and even a creative exercise, which was very entertaining to read on behalf of the panel. So in general, it was really exciting to have these students be able to apply recommendation-based as well, which is, again, very helpful for these students to have the process to go through this so that they're prepared for college. And it's just so valuable for these students to have an instrument that they care about or a mentor that they can really confide in to really bridge the gap to becoming a really, really fantastic musician. So 2 of our awardees, I'll present. The first, Felix, who was an 8th grader going into 9th grade. He was able to go to Stanford, studied at Stanford Jazz this last year, which was just incredible, or I guess it would be this summer. And then secondly, I'll actually have Dimitri come out and speak exactly as to how he used the scholarship. So without further ado, Dimitri Diambra.
Good evening. How's everyone doing tonight? So I'd like to take it back a little bit to before this whole scholarship thing even begun. So at the start of my trumpet playing, originally it was just like the standard like thing, just like elementary school, like, oh yeah, all the kids can play music now, so let's just have them choose some instruments. So I chose the trumpet after I wanted to play the saxophone, which now I don't. Many reasons for that. But I chose that. Later, my dad, he went to a pawn shop, picked me up this $50 old hunk of metal with 3 valves on it, supposed to be called a trumpet, and that's how my life began, with this instrument. And I got to admit, there were some flaws. I mean, over like the last few years of having that, it was kind of just a thing that I held together with some duct tape, some super glue, and a lot of love. Which was great and all, but I kind of needed something better. So I saw this opportunity for the scholarship, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. So I applied, and I'll be honest, I spent the whole night before the essay was due just crazy writing it. I put everything I had into it, and I handed this in. I had no expectation to win this at all. I had all my hopes up, but I'm in the back of my head, nah, this is just not going to happen. It's just not. And then it did, and this was one of the most emotional moments of my life. When I heard my name called, it was just a turn in my whole world, my whole life. And it was just such an amazing feeling, and with this $2,000, I bought this horn from this old horn shop that was like a hole in the wall in San Carlos. And I bought this old horn, and I don't know how to describe it, but it just had a soul. This horn just played itself. It's like everything I wanted to play, everything I wanted to express, every emotion I had that I put through my old horn, it wouldn't come out. And then I just picked up this horn, and everything just felt right. And honestly, the way it felt right was my first trumpet teacher was actually Mick Gillette, lead trumpet player at Tower Power. He wrote that famous tune by them, "You're Still a Young Man," and unfortunately he passed a few years back, and that tune had just been a landmark and a remembrance for me, just a symbol to remember him by. So I picked up that horn. The first thing I played on it was that song, and it just came out, and I heard him playing through me. And I just decided, this is my horn. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
So I'm going to introduce that. I'm sort of not supposed to be up here at the moment, but I want to. That was awesome, by the way. And it's true. I get to hear Dimitri. It was like a different dude showed up in the trumpet section. I was like. Although he also said, "Hey, Mr. Ellis, check out my new horn." The other recipient here, you're going to hear right now, that's Felix Sibelis, too. He's coming into 9th grade. And he's our middle school award winner. These cats are going to play. What you guys going to play? All of me? Billy's Bounce. All right, go ahead on. yeah, Billy's Bounce. That's Elijah on drums. Elijah, what class are you? Class of 2016, is that right?
Yeah.
Hi, good to see you again. Good. You the college kids. Another one on his way to college just walked the stage. That's Matthew Doldalau on the bass. Bass. Atemu Atan is in the house tonight. He's going to play with the faculty band, but Matthew's going to do his work on the bass for him tonight. And Felix Sabellas going into 9th grade. And Cole, your class of 2016 also. You're 15? Oh my goodness, 2015. Cole Berliner. Berliner. I never get that right. I called your sister Sasha Cole once. Anyway, and that's Ike Fenner, who's a class of 2017 on guitar. Thank you, guys. All right, so now we have another set of people. All right, so while the next group sets up, we're going to bring up the OSA quartet. Is Joseph not playing? He is, okay. So we're going to bring up Joseph Sabados, and these guys are going to play All of Me, which is, oh, you're not playing All of Me. Oh, he is. Well, I better look at the right schedule then. Okay. Where's Dimitri? You coming? Come on. While he's coming up here, oh, there he is. And there's the horn. It's good to see you. Better to see the horn. What are you playing? So that's what this event is about. That's what this scholarship is about. We're going to bring up Joseph Sabados to play a little bit more trumpet for you. And you guys are going to do, I'm going to look at the right piece of paper this time, All of Me. This is the OSA Quartet.
Okay. Well, I was asked to, for this, speak to what I felt music meant to me. And personally, I think music is just one of a kind thing. It's it connects to life in a lot of different ways, but it's really like its own thing. It's nothing like it. And as I go throughout life, growing up and all that jazz, realizing things about the world, music has kind of stayed the one thing that really consistently makes sense to me. And as to, I don't know, why it is and why I feel the way I do about it. And that, to me, is precious. That's something that nothing else replicates for me. Or even, not even replicates, achieves. Which is why I do it. That's why I make it my life. And considering someone like Neel Thomas Foon, I'm sure that he felt similarly about music. That it, just from having played with him and connected with him musically throughout the years that I knew, as a person as well, but really musically, he, I don't know. It was always, I always knew Neel from a musical standpoint too, because we went to school together. And so being able to connect with him musically, I guess what I'm trying to say is unlike anything else. And so while I'm really glad to know him as a friend, I'm extremely glad to have been able to play with him for years. That's awesome. And, I agree. I think it's tragic that we couldn't see, Neel's music career flourish as we know it all would have definitely flourished. But I think truly in my heart that I got to share something precious with Neel, and that's how I feel about playing music with all these great musicians. That's how I feel about going into the world, and that's why I feel that's something that I can feel good about, is the fact that we all share this precious thing that's unlike anything else. Tell me if you guys feel me on that, but. This next one is called Song for My Father by Horace Silver, I believe. And it's kind of a classic that, that we've played a lot of times, so it's got some sentimental value, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much to everyone who made this possible. This is a great night.
Song for my father. Yes. Elijah, Matthew, Joseph, Cole, and Mac Ike. That's the OSA combo. Thank you, gentlemen. Good job, man. Never heard you play in a while. We're going to bring up Atlas. Yeah. They're going to come up and sit up, and Oliver and Aiden are going to talk to you a little bit. But while they're setting up, I wanted to just briefly give you the story of this turtle on my lapel here. Brad and Jeannie and I and the Foon family, and I think all of us to some degree, whoever you meet, eventually you have difficult times in your life that correspond. My first year at OSA, my mom got sick and passed away in a very short period of time. And a couple years later, my sister and I, while going through the house and all the things, got to the things that my mother really valued. And I found among them a little stone turtle, exactly around 16 months ago. Now, my first surprise was why? I didn't associate my mother with turtles at all. Nothing. Didn't even know she liked them at all. I gave that to Jeannie and Brad. Fast forward to last month when my daughter graduated from high school. I went through the things that my mother had set aside to give to my daughter for her high school graduation. And amongst those, and that was, there were two things. One was a diamond ring and one was a set of pearls that belonged to her grandmother. And amongst those 5 things was this. And this is, 3 weeks ago or something. So, and she left this to me. So I thought I would wear that tonight. And this animal is a special animal. Just talking with Nick Kanozik about it. So I wear that in honor of Neel. And I'm sorry, Jeannie and Brett, I'm keeping this one. Okay. Oliver, you ready? Okay.
Hi, guys. Sweet. All right. So the question that we were asked was, what does music mean to us? And I think it means a lot of things, but for a lot of us up here, music really meant friendship. When I met these guys, when I met them first back in preschool, and then when we became close in early elementary school, music is for sure what brought us together.
Yeah, and you guys have all heard a lot of beautiful jazz music tonight, and we love jazz music. We all played jazz in high school, and Neel was an amazing jazz musician, but a lot of our memories with Neel weren't jazz at all, so we're gonna switch it up a bit. I hope you guys enjoy. I just wanted to give a little story about back from the days of Atlas when we, yeah, or Agony if you go way back. So when we were practicing, and we were kind of delinquents, and we didn't like to get a lot of stuff done when we were practicing. We liked to mess around a lot, and it eventually started getting so bad that our parents made us draft and sign and fingerprint a form outlining rules that we would set for practice, just to make sure they ran smoothly. Because we had Micah, who was our music teacher at MFS. He was there and he was working with us, and we were kind of wasting his time. So we wanted to make sure we weren't doing that. So Oliver's going to share those agreements.
And from something like that, you'd expect show up to practice prepared. But no, we had don't shoot each other in the face with the Nerf gun, don't scream shut up while other people are trying to talk, don't play your instrument as loud as you can while people are trying to explain the song, and many more in that similar area of guidelines. So those are just some good memories we had.
They didn't work. We still yell shut up at each other all the time.
I'll speak with the music.
Oh, yeah. Is this mic on? Can we have? Oh, nice. It is perfect.
going on?
Oh, and for those of you guys that don't know, that beautiful guitar up there is Neel's latest guitar. Really nice one. So, you know, he's still up here with Atlas. So.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That's all you.
Goddamn you half Japanese girls, do it to me every time. Oh, the redhead said you shred the cello, and I'm jello, baby. You won't talk, well look one thing of me. I'm the epitome, the perfect enemy. Why you wanna go and do me like that? Go down the street and dance with me. I'm alive like you, so please, hello, I'm here, I'm waiting. No, I think I'd be good for you, and you'd be good for me. I asked you to go to the Green Day concert, said you never heard of them. How cool is that? So I went to your room and read your diary, watching grunge legend Jack Brewer drive through the press table, and my heart stopped listening to Cho-Cho San, fall in love all over again. I'm alive like you, so please, hello, I'm here, I'm waiting. No, I think I'd be good for you, and you'd be good for me. I gotta talk about it, I'll make a sing about it, and make a record of how stupid is it. Won't you give me a minute to talk about it and say hello? How stupid is it? Oh no, you want me to, and maybe you just don't know what to do. Maybe you're scared to say I'm falling for you. I could get my head out of the sand, 'cause I think we make a good team, and keep my fingernails clean. But that's just a stupid dream that I won't realize, 'cause I can't even look in your eyes without shaking, and I hate faking. You bring home the turkey and I bring home the bacon. I'm alive like you, so please, hello, I'm here, I'm waiting. No, I think I'd be good for you, and you'd be good for me. I'm alive like you, I'm alive, I'm waiting. No, I think I'd be good for you, and you'd be good for me. Thank you.
playing again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So many strange connections there. The bass player, Sam, was somebody that I taught at Longfellow in 2010, which doesn't seem that long ago, but that's not the Sam I remember. Sam was like this, and now Sam is like this. You never know. That's why you got to be careful what you say. It's wonderful to see the spirit. To me, that right there, that feels like Neel to me. I don't know about you. What do you think? Yeah. I love it. All right, so now we are going to bring up. You guys have a band name? Do you want to make up a band name? No. Do they know? What is it?
Shell Puppy.
Shell Puppy. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Ari Nickpot and Gabe again, Matthew Doldo now, Jason Kinder, Oliver again. What was the name of the band? Shell Puppy. Ladies and gentlemen, Shell Puppy.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming tonight, supporting. Thank you. Is that too low for you? Is that good?
Just a little higher. Yep.
Is the piano? Sorry, technical difficulty. Two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Walking home, looking at the trees. Got this feeling that they were staring back at me. Thoughts did occur to me, not of the usual kind. I don't take them for granted, no. I don't call them mine. I don't call them mine. In my life, things are built on
constant surprises running my way. Some call it coincidence, but I like to call it fate. Constant surprises running my way. Some call it coincidence, but I like to call it fate.
Last night in my dream I was talking to you. You know who you are, where you're dreaming to. 'Cause in my life things are built on, they're built on
constant surprises
coming my way. Some call it coincidence, but I like to call it fate. Constant surprises coming my way. Some call it coincidence, but I like to call it fate. the sky. He was not so shy, no, not that kind. We spoke and suddenly I could read his mind. You think it's bad, but I don't fool myself. Think it's odd, but in my life things are built on. They're built on, they're built on
constant surprises running my way. Some call it coincidence, but I like to call it fate. Constant surprises running my way. Some call it coincidence, but I like to call it fate.
Thank you. We have one more song for you guys. This one is an original written by me. It's called Candy Coated. I decided on a name the other day. So this is the first live performance of it, so I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you. Can I get a G? I don't know what you usually do.
Sitting in your room, looking in the mirror. This ain't getting any easier. What did you expect? Baby, you need to slow down. Tread lightly, or else you might drown. The good times and how bad vibes made for worse times. Remember the sweet life, the big trees and that open sky. I'm losing my mind. I don't sleep, but we're doing just fine. My melatonin is candy coated. All night after night after night. Driving home late, windows rolled down, made a wrong turn. You ran a red light. So days that you missed your exit. Where is your brain? Where did you leave it? Remember the car rides and how beautiful you looked in his eyes. Now all you know is a fig tree and that blue sky, but that open sky. Oh, I'm losing my mind. No, I don't sleep, but I'm doing just fine. My melatonin is candy coated, yeah.
That was awesome. High five. High five. Don't forget your shoes. Not bad for a trombone player on bass. That was Ari. I love this. I'm so inspired by that. I can't stand it. Possibly it's because as I sit and pull out a Zantac out of my pocket and realize that I have a Gas X in the other one, I'm reminded of my grandfather saying, getting old. It's no good. I'm so inspired by the music that all of these people make. As a teacher at OSA, we come in every day and we kind of have a scripted little thing that we do, hopefully, somewhat scripted, and we see similar kids. For me tonight to see all the different sets and permutations and combinations of musicians performing and doing what they've chosen to do with multiple generations, it's just a beautiful thing, and encapsulating the kind of spirit of music that I believe Neel was all about, all in that big smile. This is what this is about. Because this stuff not only lasts, but it can heal the world. And it's time for this now. And this is the generation of people that will take this forward and fix what's wrong. So I'm really happy about that. So now let's bring up some boring old Zantac eating adults. And we're going to bring up the OSA, right? The faculty band. You guys out there? Okay, so as we bring out the faculty group, which consists of Atemu Atan on bass, my predecessor, the great and powerful Kava Menzies on piano, new diversity director at OSA. And Micah is also playing drums, and I've never heard that, so I'm super psyched about that. And the producer of tonight's event, the person who made the phone calls and put the folks together, you might have noticed there's a lot of guitars here tonight. Speaking of that is Neel's guitar overseeing the entire evening tonight. And that's going to be a fixture from now on. You might have seen it before. Can we give it a round of applause, please? Put some love into the guitar body and send it home. But I do want you guys to give a special round of applause to the man behind the scenes, the person who spent a lot of time with Neel. I don't know if you want to speak, but you're certainly welcome to. He put this event, you'll speak after, okay. Mr. Patrick Anseth. What are you going to do? This is Beautiful Love.
Okay, it's my turn to speak. So if anyone needs to take a break to go to the bathroom, I'll wait. Oh, I need to stand in front of this. Just give me 1 second. Can I hand my guitar to one of you? Thank you. Sorry. No problem. Thank you. Yeah. Excellent. Oh, you can just let it. All right. So I don't have a, well, I have a roadie, Kava Menzies over there. Thank you. So it's my pleasure and honor to introduce to you tonight's guest of honor. This is his guitar. I had the privilege, and it really was truly a privilege. It isn't always, but with Neel, it always was a privilege to work with him. So I run the jazz guitar program at Oakland School for the Arts, and I taught him for 2 years in that class. And I taught all of the OSA guitarists on stage today. And it was, I just want to say a few words about Neel. Neel was a truly special human being. He had a way of lighting up rooms and really leading with love wherever he went. And we were truly blessed to have met him, to have worked with him, to have made music with him. And actually, almost every single musician today at some point made music with Neel, which I think is really special. So with that, I would like to leave you in Neel's very capable hands. This is Neel Foon's rendition of How Insensitive.
I just have a couple of things I wanted to say. When Neel was at UCLA, I learned recently that he would speak to his new friends about how he was creating the soundtrack of his life. And if someone that he met, that he just knew for a little while, his roommates, would be listening to music, and if they said, "Oh, I love that song," Neel would say, "Are you sure?" And they'd say, "Yes." And so Neel would then take that song and incorporate it into the soundtrack of his life. So he would put it in his playlist, and that's how Neel lived his life. He included his friends that he made in life, his old friends and his new friends, and he expressed his friendship through music. So tonight is about continuing to work on the soundtrack of Neel's life. And that's what the Neel Foon funds mean to me. And I know that that's what, this is what he would be wanting us to do, is to keep creating music, keep supporting music, because that's who he was. He was more than a musician, though. He was a mentor and friend, and someone who went out of his way to encourage and support everyone he came into contact with. And I recently went back and read some of the notes that we received a year or 14 months ago from students at Oakland School for the Arts, and then also from students at UCLA. And they came into packages, and we read them back then, but I read them again recently. And I just wanted to share with you a couple of things that people said, who, these are mostly kids that had just met Neel or didn't know him very well, but they were young, they were young students, young musicians, similar to the ones that we are trying to support through his music funds. And one of them wrote that he was sitting in the hallway at OSA trying to learn a piece of music. This was a new freshman, and he was really frustrated and struggling, and he was really feeling down. And Neel saw him and came and sat with him, and he said to Neel, "I don't belong here. I don't know why I got into this school, but everyone here is so much better than I am as a musician." And Neel said to him, "Well, of course you belong here. They saw something in you, your potential." And he said, "Everyone here is here to support you and help you and not judge you." And he said Neel gave him the courage to keep at it and inspired him. And someone else said, well, Neel was always practicing his guitar at lunch, working hard all the time, and he inspired all of us to do the same. Always with a huge smile. He loved what he was doing, and he made all of us feel the same. So he was much more than a musician. He was a visionary in many ways. He saw music and how it fit into the world and how it healed the world, or could heal the world. And he was all about creating love and connection. So this is why I feel like it's important to carry on this legacy that Neel started. And through creating the funds to help those he felt close with, his community of artists and friends. So your donations support youth who aspire to live like Neel. They want to create music that is innovative, healing, connecting, and empowering. And they want to give back to their communities by mentoring and sharing their talents. And that was who Neel was all the way through. And in this crazy world that we live in, I feel like we need to support our youth and to empower them in wholesome and positive ways, not ways that are harmful to themselves or others. Music grounded Neel through some really rough patches. It was always his refuge. And I feel the same for all the students that performed tonight, all the young musicians that performed tonight, and every youth who plays music. It is a way to have an identity and to be self-empowered and to give back and to connect with each other. That's why these funds are so important, especially, I think, as Dave said, in these crazy times. So my job tonight is to ask you to help support us, and many of you have, and we're so grateful, and all of you are here supporting us, and we're so grateful. Our goal this year was to raise $40,000, and so far, we've raised probably somewhere between $12,000 and $15,000 as of today, and that's really amazing, amazing. But our goal is to go farther, and so we're asking folks to donate. We have lots of volunteers here tonight from both schools, and they're working at the donation table outside in the lobby. And they are here to help you with donations, to answer questions about the programs, the scholarship programs, and the music education programs. And we would really appreciate if you have the time this evening to stop, and at least if you don't have time to donate, but there are postcards also, and you can pick up a postcard, and this is our goal for 2018. Lastly, I just want to say that my heart broke last year. And I didn't know how I would go on, but I knew that I wanted to. And what I learned is that a broken heart can actually hold a lot more love than I ever imagined it would. And I learned that from knowing Neel and from learning about Neel from others, from his friends, from people who hardly knew him. But that is the reason I'm here tonight. And that is the reason I feel so strongly about carrying on Neel's legacy, because he really got it. He really got life. He really knew what were the important things in life. And he was so young, and he knew that. And he, in many ways, was a role model for me. Thank you.
All the things you are, still are. Edgar, Ike, Cole, Tim, Ollie, Matthew, the one and only Elijah Clapapple, Watkins, Jenkins, Baraceros on the drums. All the things you are. Of course I had to. Thank you guys. That's awesome. It's a little too much guitar for me, but I'll tolerate it tonight. Ugh, gosh. Have you guys enjoyed yourselves this evening? Awesome, awesome. So not only are we asking you to donate to the fund, we're asking you to spread the word about this fund as well. So whatever that form takes, take more than one donation card and give it to that rich friend that you know. And then make lots of copies. And prepare to do this again next year. We're going to definitely do it, and we're going to fill up all of these seats. You can see already how it benefits these people, but this entire set of people you saw play tonight will gladly donate their time for the rest of their lives for this cause. So we know we got players. There's a bunch of people that we want to thank tonight. I like what the program says. When our community comes together, great things happen. The musical community in the United States is somewhat small. Once you get in there, it's a small world. And it's even smaller here. In other words, this community is very special, and we take this out into the world. We're going to bring it back here with us. Let's continue to make great things happen for our children. It'll pay off. Our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who worked hours to make this event possible. And I'll be honest, Jeannie, where are you? Where's Jeannie? Yeah. So these meetings, like, the last 3 weeks of school, no, that was a terrible thing. I was like, no. Okay. I'm certainly glad we did. No, absolutely. I missed a couple. The live music production, that's Patrick Anseth. Big hand for Patrick Anseth. Where are you? He's over there somewhere, probably. I don't know where he is. He's hiding. Oh, the video and slideshow production, the MC, that's the bald MC, graphic designer, artists, videographers, photographers, East Bay Community Foundation, and that's Laura Cho. Laura, are you here tonight? She's probably not here, but somebody's got to manage that money. Montessori Family School, the FOONTASTIC Fundraising Committee, Freight and Salvage Team, all the volunteers that did the ticketing and doing the donation booths and the t-shirts. Don't forget to get that t-shirt. It's the best advertising, because one of the things we thought of in our meeting was whenever somebody sees a turtle and it says FOONTASTIC, they're going to be like, wait, what is that? And that's your chance to tell them what this event is about. So everybody who contributed, Freight and Salvage, thank you for this. And I want to end with a little tiny writing that it says down here as you prepare to drive safely home with your checkbook a little lighter. Neel, we do this in memory of the bright star that you were on earth, and as you continue to shine all around us, forever in our hearts. Thank you, Foon family, and thank you, Neel, and thank all of you. We'll see you next year. Good night, everybody.